what every producer needs to know about actors. As a producer, you have to have confidence in your own story, and you have to be able to instill that in your actors.
I actually want to know at what point in the process, for all three of you, when you knew you had it. When you read that line, you held that gaze, when you're like, I have this, I've got it. There's a moment when you know, right?
There is, yeah.
What was
it
your
yesterday? It was yesterday.
Still figuring it out.
Really?
I think there's something very surreal about, for all three of us, this is not only characters that are so well written out, but also they represent such a massive step for a lot of us in our careers. And this is something that you really, truly hope, pray, and dream about. And so when it does happen, it is almost as though you put yourself into a place of shock, so that in case you do wake up from this dream, you can at least savor it for as long as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all all were.
Yeah. Well, it got shorter. It got shorter every day, I think. And we would spend hours every day and days every week doing that. And I think it got. I always think about it like a field of really tall grass. And I'm over here, and George is over on the other side of the clearing. And I have no idea how to get there, and so I'm trying to I'm getting lost in all this tall grass, and eventually I get there, and it took me 5 hours, and then I have to make all the way back, and doing it over and over again, you take wrong turns, and but then eventually you tread a path into that grass, and it becomes more of just an open road, and you still have to walk that, and that still takes time, but at least you know what you're doing now. And it got easier and easier, and it got easier with Tom, and it got easier with India. If I had worked with R7 more, if I had more scenes with R7, it would have been the same. But it felt very much like just shoot with 110% of your ammunition, and Tom will mold me into a place that is needed for that scene. Because once you're in that place as an actor, I think sometimes it can be hard to have an objective idea of what needs to happen. It's your job to sort of stay in that place in that moment, and you know what that scene is, and then Tom can have the objective, or what India's doing.